It's your boy Kaz with a short video on strand maps. Now, if you're here, you're probably a ground hand or a lineman apprentice who's wanting to learn what's going on. So I'm just going to jump right in on how to read a strand construction map. So in order to get a basic understanding when reading a map, first, you want to know what you're looking for. You want to know what you're trying to do. You want to know what your point for reading the map is. In this case, it's to build support strand for coax or fiber. So you get your map and you want to plan your run for the day. Well, here's what you need to do to make it happen. So you get your map and you are assigned this run right here. I'm sure you can see my marker. You're going to be following this a lot of the video. You get assigned this straight run all the way down here. You're building support strand. So what you want to do is start looking at how to locate your setup. So say we're going to set up on this pole here. We're just going to call it F05. You're going to want to first start looking into some of your landmarks, like addresses. Most maps are going to have some sort of address on them near any houses or apartment buildings or businesses. I have these ones blocked off to protect, liabilities and addresses, whatever. But you're going to want to look for cross streets. You're going to find a cross street like this one, an address like this one, and in some cases, when you're lucky, you're going to get the pole number, which I also have blocked out on this one because I don't have permission from the owners of this pole to disclose this info. But you're going to want to find more than one point of reference if possible, just to double check and make sure you're drilling a hole into the correct pole. So to kind of understand what's going on here, I'm going to start explaining kind of a key on how this all works. So you're going to be given a map. It's going to have the layout like a Google print. It's going to have street names. It's going to have addresses, some type of outline, whether it be a drawing or an actual Google Earth cutout. And it's going to usually have pole numbers. And the pole's usually sometimes going to have that number on it. So obviously these little red or yellow circles are poles. Every single one of these circles is a pole, and this is for the sake of strand. In between each pair of poles, you're going to see a number. This number is going to be the footage in between the poles. 99% of the time, you're going to see a symbol that looks similar to this one right here, this little red Y. That's going to symbolize a down guy and anchor. That's going to symbolize the end point of a run. Another common symbol you'll run into in strand would be this one. Now I just put this here for the sake of the video, but you're going to see a zigzag like this once in a while, symbolizing what we call a slack span, which will be explained further in another video. So I'll go ahead and delete that. So now that that's deleted, we've established these are for anchors. Your poles are going to be some sort of circle or X or some sort of marker every so often throughout a run. We've established that there's footage markers in between each run. So now we're going to talk about call-out boxes. Every map is going to have some sort of call-out, whether it's an instruction or rule or set industry standard, whether you're building at the top or the bottom of the system. So, some systems are top system. So you're going to go to the very top communication system and go 13 inches or a bell wrench above that system. Or other times, they're going to give you a specific footage, like this one right here, to tell you where they want their pole framed every single time. So in this case, we have callout boxes on the map. And these callout boxes tell us that we need a down guy at 23.3 feet. That's telling me right here on this pole that I'm framing at 23 feet 3 inches. With these call out boxes, it's telling us our network provider attachment height is 23.3. Our pole number is telling us who owns the pole. It's telling us that this one has a simple make ready, which means that we are moving a system that's on the pole. So said system is at 22.9 inches and we need to lower it 6 inches. So that's kind of how you would read these call out boxes. Now, some maps are going to give you a station ID like F05, and on another page somewhere is going to be this kind of information that you're going to be looking for. Every map is roughly the same. I mean, they might look totally different, but when you get down to the nitty gritty, it's pretty much the same all the way through. Again, we'll do another example on the very next poll. You're looking at a simple make ready. Blank system is at 19.9 feet. It needs lowered 12 inches. Owner of the pole, pole number, our attachment height 23.3, and it's going to be the same all the way through. Some of them don't have call out boxes, but pretty much all of them do. I've blocked them out. You get down here and it's telling you the same thing. You know, there's no make ready on this pole, so nobody else's system needs moved. Our down guy is at 19.9, so we're attaching and ending the strand right here. Again, you got the owner of the pole, pole number, and attachment height. 19.9, 20 foot, you're going to put it right at 20 feet if possible. So as a ground hand, if you're looking at the map, or as a lineman, you're going to pick up your setup point. You know, when you're getting your materials ready, you need to set at least 2 anchors. Boom. You know that you're going to need like 5-6 straight throughs and 2 dead end setups. So that's the point in knowing how to read a map as a ground hand. You know what they want. You know they want you to build strand on every single one of these poles. You know how many foot the run is going to be, so you know how much strand you're going to need. It's telling you you need to set your anchors and run your down guys, which if you need to know how to do that, you can refer to some of my other videos. And I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I don't think I'm missing anything. If I'm missing anything, I'll definitely update it later, but for the most part, it's pretty self-explanatory. You're going to set up your reel here. You're going to, jig it out all the way through and drill your holes where it tells you to drill your holes at whatever footage it is. End it here with your anchor and down guy and tension it all up back over here. And then you're going to go through and tighten everything down. And boom. You built your strand run, but that is how you read your map to know what strand run you're getting. Some other maps are a little different, like this one right here. Same principle. You know, you got your addresses, you got your street names, which I've blacked out again. You see it's got some fiber over here, which will be taught in another video on how to read different types of fiber and drops and stuff, but when you get a map like this for an entirely different network provider, you're looking at a pretty similar setup. So you got your poles. Again, it's a circle with an X in it. The system doesn't require us to move anything or make readies or nothing, so there's no call out boxes because we didn't build the strand on this one. But typically you would, you have your Y symbol here. It's a different color. It's an anchor. You got your pole here, you got your strand path, you got your footage in between each span, and it tells you you need to build strand from here straight through, straight through, straight through, straight through, straight through, And then this would be a more complex setup. You would be dead ending with a double dead end right here on this pole, and then building straight through over to here until you hit your next anchor point. I mean, every map is pretty similar with strand. It's pretty solid all the way through. It never really changes with the strand maps. Every once in a while, you'll get a map that only shows you the fiber path, and in that case, you got to kind of get with your supervisor or project manager and ask a couple questions to make sure you're doing the job right. At the end of the day, you always want to talk to your supervisor. Do not be afraid to ask questions. They would much rather you get the job done right the first time than have to go do it for free a second time. But with that being said, I hope everyone has a good day. Stay safe out there on the line, everybody.